What is going on, everybody? And in this video, we're giving a state of the market and stock picks for August 10th, 2022. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, consider subscribing because I do provide daily and weekly updates to get you prepared for the day and the week ahead on this Taco Tuesday. Yes, Taco Tuesday, indeed. So nonetheless, state of the market, obviously, the biggest thing we are watching this week is we are watching to see what happens tomorrow for the core CPI. We want to see if the core CPI comes above 9.1. In my opinion, if it comes in at 9.1 or lower than that, the market could potentially rally and rally pretty crazy, as people will think that we have reached peak inflation. And we've fallen for this before, as just a couple of months back, we thought we hit peak inflation. We had a massive rally, which is kind of what I'm thinking tomorrow. If it does come anything at 9.1 or lower, if it comes above that, I think you're going to strike a lot of fear in the market, and we could potentially start free falling pretty quickly. How far? Well, that just depends on how much panic gets introduced into the market. Again, biggest things being food and energy continuing to climb. The dollar has not moved. The dollar has been sitting around 106, 107, has not moved. Oil is starting to climb back up. There is a lot of data pointing that and showing a lot of the different cracks and a lot of the different things I've talked about over the past couple weeks leading up to this point. Again, there's just a lot of compounding data that shows that this is just the beginning of everything and that we haven't even seen the worst yet. Again, that's not saying that the stock market is the economy, because it is not, and it can deter from that. But institutions are still not going to place their chips on the board until they figure out what's going to happen for the next 6 months. And right now, it's looking very foggy, but a report could help with that. It could help us provide a pretty strong rally for potentially the next 2 to 3 weeks until the next core CPI. Again, you have to understand inflation works just like the stock market. You're going to get a nice pump, and you're going to get a pullback, then a nice pump. The question is, if we do get a pullback on this one, is the next report going to be an even bigger pump past 9.1? That is the concern. So the only way you're going to be able to determine that is if time. Right? Time is the one thing that's going to help you determine that. So with all that being said, I don't think there's really much else to talk about as far as state of the market, because it's all relying on the one thing tomorrow. And again, we've got tons of data stating about all the different the bad things that are currently going on. Labor costs rise to double-digit rates, right? I mean, what's else to say there that things aren't bad? Things aren't getting better. It's just what's happening is you're getting deterred to look in another direction from what's really happening underneath the surface. And again, the stock market will move until that data, to the realistic data, hits the market. The stock market will continue to rally. The stock market will believe what headline news is telling it to an extent, right? But the bigger institutions will not be putting full risk on until they know for certain what's going on. That's not saying that they're going to miss out on some of these pumps. Of course, they're going to be buying dollar cost averaging and some of these drops, but they're not going to go all in until they get a clear roadmap of what's going on. And hopefully tomorrow we can get some of that insight. Again, we really have to see. Right? There's nothing showing that that it would be a positive thing right now. So again, time will tell. But with that being said, technical levels, again, we have to break out here. So tomorrow, upside, you're watching essentially the 4,200 mark. If we can break above that, again, this is going to come out pre-market. So you show something early, and then we should start getting a move from that point. And then you're looking at the 4081 tomorrow. If that breaks down, more downside selling could potentially start cascading pretty quickly. Again, if we start coming down, my concern is, again, that 36 mark. We break that, it could get really nasty. We could just float around in here until the Fed meeting and get some good news, bad news, good news, bad news. Could potentially be that. Again, our basis points around here. I actually accidentally deleted the 75. 75 sitting around here, around that 38.30. So it's 35, 75, 100-point basis move, which is something the Fed continues to hammer down people's throats. And inflation is not going away. especially since they said, oh, inflation's fine. But they understand some of the data that's coming out that looks really positive is lagging data. And so that's something to consider. So we're really watching that tomorrow. Bitcoin, again, it's going to move like the market. It's even if it pops up, I'm still watching that 28K, 30K mark for a hard rejection on that. Dollar still sitting at 106. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla started to break down. Now, this is the key point for Tesla. It cannot hold the 828, right? If Tesla breaks back down below this, are going to be in some trouble, potentially sell all the way back down to 750, then to 700, and then the 623. So we really have to see how this does play out. It's a really strong support first attempt. We could just bounce out of here and start heading back up. Strong possibility. Like I said, if we get any kind of good estimated core CPI, then this thing could really start ripping. And Tesla, you have to remember, just had earnings. So like I talked about 3 or 4 weeks, it's going to kind of die out. But we have to see. Everything might flip tomorrow, and it won't matter, right? BA is sitting flat, right? We want to see what CPI does. It's really high. Again, this thing is going to flip and start turning over. Let's look at the banks. Banks, same thing. As JPM has been consolidating for a very long time. We're trying to figure out what's going on with the core CPI. Goldman Sachs really just kind of floating there. EAC just floating there, trying to figure out what's going on. Again, we get panic, we're going to drop pretty heavily, in my opinion, but we have to see. Again, for tomorrow, the big thing too to watch is like chips got hammered again this morning with MU, and their forward guidance is looking really bad, and they started dipping again. Again, this is your shovel, your pick and shovel for the gold rush. And this innovation in the fact that they're having issues. We thought we got out of all the issues, and this is how it all started in the beginning of the year. Chips started selling off, then everything else went tumbling down with it. I'm thinking that could potentially be happening here again, but we have to see. We have to wait and see. A lot of it's wait and see. Hurry up and wait and see, and that's currently where we're sitting at. But that's pretty much what I want to do in the video. I know this is an extremely short video, but it's all going to depend on tomorrow, so I can tell you a whole song and dance right now, but it's only going to matter what happens in that report tomorrow. So that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know why I'm saying p.m. So 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, you will get that report, and that's going to tell us what's going on, and then you'll get the move that we're looking for. And then you'll get some kind of movement from that point. So again, short and sweet. Go ahead and drop a like if you made it this far, and buckle up, and let's see what tomorrow brings. So I'll see you guys next time.